Welcome back to Muni Mayhem on the Roundtable. I'm Oshrik Vox, and at New York Comic Con 2018, we got a last-minute Star vs. the Forces of Evil panel, although it wasn't actually at New York Comic Con and you had to pay to get in. And despite this panel being centered around the book, Star's Magic Book of Spells, check it out, there's so much lore and interesting tidbits in there. We actually got a sneak peek at Season 4. Now, Season 4 is still a whiles away, premiering next year in 2019 on Disney Channel. Moving away from Disney XD, Darren FC and Disney have been so kind to provide sneak peeks at panels. Our first one was at San Diego, and this one here appears to be in the same episode, as we can tell by Riverswell having that stick in his beard. Now, of course, spoiler warning, click off if you don't want to be spoiled. You've been warned. Ready, set, go. Alright, so while this clip does not have too much going on action-wise, there's still some things to break down and talk about here. Attempting to take their mind off their search for Moon, Star, Marco, and River stumble upon a play, but not just any play. It's a play depicting River and Star in a very crude manner. And as everyone likes to point out, the premise is very similar to the Fire Emblem players from Avatar: The Last Airbender, a favorite by many fans of the series. Team Avatar attempts a play, it recounts the series events in a very crude manner, making Team Avatar seem a bit more malicious and incompetent, which makes sense as it's a play by the enemy, the Fire Nation. Here it's a play by Star's people, her kingdom who's not too happy with her. Now when Star gave Eclipsa the wand at the end of Conquer, she really did hand over the kingdom by extension, meaning Eclipsa once again reigns over Muni. And while we as an audience know Eclipsa isn't all that bad, and heads up, if you read the Book of Spells, neither is Globgor. The Mumins don't know that. Now, a very important detail about this play is that Moon is absent. While she still is missing in the story of the show, by excluding Moon from this play, the Mumins are excluding the blame for being put on her. They don't blame Moon for any of this. It's likely they still see her as a great queen, someone who needs to return and reclaim her throne, and restore what the Mumins view as balance, although it's more of injustice. Now, the Mumins clearly don't have a good view of River. Just going off the dialogue in the play, they're making it seem as if he only married Moon to become a freeloader, stating this is the easiest job he's ever married into. River obviously isn't happy with this depiction of his character. Now, his incompetence as king has actually been a focus of his character since Season 3. It was a strong driving force of the episode Marco and the King during the Battle for Muni arc, touched up on a bit in Divide. River wants to be a better leader. While he loves Moon and had since he's met her, being a great support system all the way back in Moon the Undaunted, the King of Muni can only do so much. But that leaves him defenseless without a clue whenever Moon is gone, something he's been longing to correct. Now, the betrayal of Star in this play is extremely telling on how her kingdom views her. In their eyes, Star has destroyed the kingdom, neglected her responsibilities, her loyalty to humans for monsters. And although it's comico, ha ha, she farted, the manner in which Star is being talked about here may sound very familiar. That's because these exact things were said about Eclipsa over and over again, until Star, and by extension the audience, got to know Eclipsa. In the eyes of Muni, Star is the new Eclipsa, a monster lover, someone who does not have any regard for the humans. But we know this isn't true. Star's arc throughout the last season has been trying to unite humans and monsters, trying to instate equality. And while I'm sure Eclipsa wants the exact same thing, she had some issues to work out. Her judgment is more than likely going to be clouded. After all, the Prince of Darkness, the love of her life, Globgor, was crystallized and kept from her. Even after being encased by Romulus, the two were separated for hundreds of years. So although I don't believe either of them would do anything hasty, I don't see humans being imprisoned or anything, unless Globgor has a change of heart, which is a discussion for another time. I do believe Eclipsa's decision-making has a bit of clouded judgment at the moment. From her perspective, she's finally able to make things right, but she may lean more in the monsters' favor, gain their respect, get them back into Muni. After all, a lot of the monsters left in the episode is another mystery, and put them on a pedestal, make sure they're comfortable before attending to the humans' needs, which will create another imbalance, pushing back Star's goal of true equality from coming to fruition. Marco wants to leave the play before they see their depiction of him, but unfortunately, he gets a bigger slap in the face, not being shown at all. The Butterfly Follies instead having a satirical caricature of Ponyhead. This one establishes that Marco is still insecure, that after all this time, Muni still doesn't see him as someone respectable, someone worthy of being in their dimension, continuing that little arc we had throughout Season 3. And I'm sure by the end of this season, and by extension the end of the series, Marco will gain Muni's respect, being honored as someone worthy of serving the queen. After all, Marco was instrumental and got the closest out of anyone to taking down Meteora with the Magnificent Seven. What does he get in return? Nothing but disrespect. He's getting the cold shoulder. It's like he's not even there. And from his perspective, if that's how Muni's going to treat him, why did he ever leave Earth in the first place? What is Marco's calling? Whether if it's saving Muni from Ludo or Meteora, what will be enough for them? And for the play to take shots at Ponyhead, they're taking shots at Ponyhead's family, at royalty, at an entire kingdom, one of their own allies. What repercussions could this have between the relations between Muni and Ponyhead's kingdom in the future? Are the inhabitants of Muni going to burn bridges just because they're not happy with the ruler? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, not a lot overarching story-wise, but this clip was great for seeing where our characters are at and what potential storylines they'll have in this upcoming season. But what do you guys think? What will Muni be like with Eclipsa in charge? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet those thoughts to me at AustrickVox or at Roundtable Vids. We're also on Instagram. If you want to help the Roundtable grow, support us on Patreon. Get access to exclusive perks, sneak peeks, link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw a like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications to stay in the loop with all things Star. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. AustrickVox, out.